I lost 6.5 pounds this week. However, my progress photos do not look any better. In this video, I'm going to talk about how this is actually normal for week 1 of my body transformation. Hey, welcome to this week's check-in. This was my first full week back on my diet plan after Christmas. So this week was more around setting routine and not about aggressive fat loss, which is going to be shown in this video, where I lost 6.5 pounds on the scale. However, when you see the progress photos, you will see that I don't look much different. I'll be looking a bit flatter. And this is because I lost a lot of water weight and not any fat. But the goal for this week and also for January is to maintain, to set my routine, and to get some strength back in the gym. So going into last week's goals, I set 3 very simple goals to follow. Number 1 was to walk 10,000 steps every day. And number 2 was to hit my macros, which are on the screen for a reminder. And number 3 was to go to the gym 3 times last week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, to do a full body workout. And I actually hit all 3 of those goals in week 1. So my steps were consistently at 10,000 or just above. My macros were at maintenance level, and I went to the gym for all 3 sessions this week. However, this was still not a perfect week, and I'm about to go into why that was the case. So 2 of the 3 goals were hit perfect. So the 10,000 steps every day and hitting my macros or not going over my maintenance calories, I hit that as well. The thing that wasn't perfect was my gym sessions. So I went to the gym 3 times this week as planned. However, I did not complete all the sets within the sessions. On Monday, I hit pretty much every set planned. I hit quite a few PRs actually, and that's the same for all 3 sessions. I hit PRs in every session this week, which is a very good insight into my strength coming back whilst eating at maintenance. However, on Monday, I skipped the abs exercise because it's my least favorite, and I really need to learn to love those if I want to see good abs when I burn body fat. I think this is a common issue across people, but my goal next week is to hit at least one of my ab sessions in the week plan. On Wednesday, I ran out of time to complete the full gym session, so I skipped a couple of sets at the end as well. And on Friday, I had a very busy weekend. So this weekend's been really busy. I've been looking after Alfred as a single parent for the week while my wife was away for the weekend. And because of that, I had to do a nursery run and etc. So I couldn't take much time away from work to go and do my gym session. And of course, I could not leave my son at home and go to the gym. So on Friday's session, I literally only went for 15 minutes. But I still went. I still showed up. I still had a good couple of sets. I think I did chin-ups and incline bench press, and then left the gym and went to the nursery to pick up my boy. So even though the gym sessions were not perfect this week, I still consider that a goal hit. Just was not a perfect goal hit. Sometimes it's all about just turning up and doing your best. So on the scale, I'm down 6.5 pounds, which sounds quite dramatic. However, in reality, this is very normal. This is just water weight and glycogen. I'm eating on maintenance calories, so I'm not expecting to lose any fat in this current phase, and therefore I'm very confident that the weight loss is primarily going to be water weight and glycogen. And as you'll see in the next section of this video of my progress photos, you'll see I don't look much different. However, I do look flatter, and that's because my muscles don't look as full, which is another sign that I lost a lot of water and glycogen from my muscle stores. So this kind of weight loss shows fast in the first week. So I'm probably going to expect it on my second week as well. And this is common for everybody. So everybody starting a fat loss diet in 2026, your first couple of weeks, 2, maybe even 3 weeks, you'll see a big drops on the scale as long as you're following your diet, right, and not eating in a surplus, you will see water weight come off very quickly, and then you'll see it slow down, right? And that's where a lot of people panic. But please don't panic. It's normal, and I expected this drop to be quite big. And then in the next couple of weeks, I'm also expecting a few other big jumps, and then for it to flatline at the end of January, and then in February, I will then tweak my macros and my steps to start a deficit. So on the screen now are my progress photos for this week. So on the left is my last week, my starting point comparison, and on the right is photos for videos from this morning and how I look right now. So as I've already said in this video, I don't look any leaner. I do look flatter, however, which can also make my midsection, my belly, look a bit bigger, even though it hasn't grown at all. I did measure myself this morning as well, and I am exactly the same as I was last week. So this is completely normal, right? So when you drop glycogen, your muscle drops the water retention, which then makes your muscles look less full. So nothing negative is happening. This is completely normal and part of the process. So I'm not worried about this. I've just got to trust the process and carry on. So looking ahead to next week, my goals are literally going to stay exactly the same. So for my macros, I'm going to be aiming to stick to maintenance again. So 2,470 calories, which works out at around 280 grams of carbs, 70 grams of fat, and 180 grams of protein. I'm also going to go to the gym 3 days next week. So full body session, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And this time I'm hopefully going to finish the whole session and plan more time. And then also 10,000 steps a day, every day. The only difference that next week's going to have that's not a normal week is that I'm very, very busy at work with a lot of social events. So these days will be untracked. I'm going to try my absolute best to not overeat and make good, healthy choices. However, I may, if I feel like it's necessary towards the end of the week, lower my calories a little bit to counteract the increased calorie consumption that may happen when I'm at the work events. Because you should always treat your calorie allowance as like a weekly budget. So Monday to Sunday. It should not be, you don't need to treat them daily. So if you've got a busier day, you can eat less the day before, the day after, to account for this. So it's easy to stay on track. So I'm going to treat it as a weekly budget. But again, it's an unusual week of work socials, so I have to attend these. I have to socialize. So rather than worrying about my diet on those days, I'm just going to not track what I eat or do on those days. However, I will get my steps in. I will go to the gym, and I will make healthy choices whilst I'm at these social events. And like I said, I will balance out my calories as the week goes on. So my goal for next week is to literally not gain any weight, right? So I'm hoping to maintain or lose some more water weight. That'd be great, but realistically, I'm hoping to maintain. So overall, I'm really happy with how this week has gone. The scales did what they were supposed to. I dropped 6.5 pounds of mainly water weight. My routine is working well for me around my lifestyle. The gym sessions felt really good when I was in there. I felt strong. My list went up. And it was all about setting a routine so I can be consistent throughout this whole body transformation phase. And the great news about the results from this week is that nothing needs to change in the next week. So there was no plateau. There was nothing really negative to worry about or change. So I'm going into next week really strong, just albeit with the work socials that I hope really don't derail me too much. Thank you so much for watching. If you got this far, please like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you next Sunday.